Good news, everyone! The Multi-Tap Podcast is back! Yes, it's going to be KZX, Euron, and Gifpopopapum, all your favorite characters. Yes. Wait, didn't they do Sunday before me? Then the war is on. But seriously, I'm glad that, I'm glad they're bringing that back. I'm glad Crazy didn't leave that go. And I'm even glad that they're just simplifying it with just the three of them again. I mean, I kind of lose steam, lose my own thinking. You know how I am sometimes, and even that's with editing shit out. I'm just words flow from mouth, not to brain, too well, or vice versa, or however I am. Curse you, autism! I think I've done pretty well for myself otherwise, though. So yeah, no need for... I'm only saying it here because most of you already heard it, that watch KZ on stream on, I think it was Thursday he said this, during a game of Quiplash. Which is awesome, by the way. On Jackbox.tv Quiplash. Probably the best one just because it has audience participation. But yeah, he himself said it's going to be KZ, PM, and Euron, just the three of them. Because Sky's not on there half the time, and he would do it would take even longer in some segments than I do, believe it or not. For those of you, yeah. But anyway. But no hard feelings, because I got him here, don't I? Hey, Sky, let's have one of those good old-fashioned fanfics, huh?
Stop.
Oh, that wacky Sky. Totally didn't have a sound clip from him from, like, however the fuck long ago that what conversation was on Sky. Oh, if he watches these, he's gonna be pissed. Hey, even he could start one of his own. He could do what I do. He could probably drag in Creed. He could drag in his lady. But yeah, it's like I said. I think it's gonna do really well again. The multi-tap KZ. They're gonna get back on point with just the three of them. Just the good old Triple Access podcast. KZ, Euron, and Papums. That's basically most of the Nuzlocke audience already too, because it's either PM and Euron or PM playing with KZ, and I'm fearing the worst right now. Like I said on my last episode of or one of my episodes rather of Mega Man Legends. Like the further in he's gonna go with them gens, the worse off he's gonna be. That's what I'm thinking, because I know he streamed. I think it was Gen 5. I think it was like Volt Black Tour or Volt White 2 or something along those lines. Whatever the intro was with like the really like their anointing N, and he's all super cute and everything, and he's got his harem around him and all that shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Know what I mean, Vern? Rambling. But yeah, speaking of Nuzlocke, don't have somebody on YouTube. Not really a Let's Player, but I'm gonna put this person out just because she's done a lot of great fan art for both Nuzlocks, and she does a lot of other things for them in general, and just good art overall. squiddybitty.tumblr.com. You know her seen her on streams at some point as Squidlicious. I'll link her Twitter and her Tumblr in the description below. But with that, what have I been playing this week? Bought a bunch of games with my birthday money, because that came and gone for the... I flubbed up and forgot that Xenoblade Chronicles 3D requires the new 3DS. I have the classic one, the first one that came out, because I wanted to jump on the BlazBlue thing really quickly. Speaking of which, I got the new one of that. Was looking for J-Stars, but ended up finding the JoJo All-Star Battle on disc instead, so I'm like, okay. And lastly, but certainly not least, which is my new drug right now, I can't shake it, it's a game from level 5, so already, you don't need much else with that. That's pretty much, it's the Fantasy Life game for the 3DS. That game's gonna, That game's gonna suck up a lot of time if I wasn't LPN already and doing that as well, trying to keep videos up again. That feels good too. I'm feeling pretty good again. It's like, yeah, I have videos. I did shit ahead of time that I can post whenever the hell I want. I'm like, all right, cool. It's not to the degree that KZ does his, because my god, like he already said he got all Danganronpa done or something like that. I overheard. Holy shit. Like, where do you find the time? First of all, he's doing that 24/7. You're doing that and streams. I'm like, wow. I can only imagine what I had that kind of time to myself doing shit. Wow, I'd be just making LPs. I wouldn't have time to play newer games. I'd just be like doing that all day. Because I love doing that. I want to entertain you guys. That's why I keep doing with the podcast, because I want that to go on and be entertaining. But yeah, that's what I'm about this week. I bought the new BlazBlue, and I'm still trying to catch up on the original Chrono Phantasma, because I never finished all the arcade stuff. I'm trying to get all that in before I jump into the new one, because I'm thinking it's going to be like the other games where it's like, oh, you completed all this in this game, we're just going to take that file and throw it onto the new game, and it's like, okay, here's all this gallery, here's all this stuff you already unlocked, now go do all the new shit. That's basically what it is. I've just been so busy trying to get recordings up, I haven't had time to check out Robo Fortune for Skullgirls. She's out now, and she's also ready for her second encore, which launched on the PlayStation 4. Like, it's all there. And there's also a couple of other added features. I don't know if they're on the PS3, but I'll take a look, and I'll let you guys know next week what I find. For now, though, Street Fighter V is unloaded with a bunch of news. We have a stage in New Zealand called Forgotten Waterfall. Yoshiro Ono revealed something for the what was it? The Brazil Game Show 15 in October. He was wearing a Blanca costume doing it. So they got Brazil sans the Cristo Redentor statue, but, hey, Maximilian's in the game. Let's go! No, this is actually a new, fresh design for Ken Masters. He still has his trademark Flaming Dragon Punch, but it looks like he'll have a V-trigger of some sort that lets him amplify his attacks, maybe set the opponent on fire with any of his special moves, so he'd be doing more damage, I'm thinking. I don't know. So, but again, it seemed like a really different character. He doesn't play like a Shoto. He's gotten more kick crazy in this game, if anything. The trailer really emphasized his different arcs for like his hurricane kick. Like he was up in the air and he was like coming at an arc or coming up and then back down again or some shit like that. Street Fighter 4 really went, because there weren't a whole lot of, because before Street Fighter 4 came out, just fighting games were kind of on the down low again, and then that brought it back, kind of. So it looks like what they're doing for 5 is they're like, okay, we're back. Now we gotta push our characters away from each other a little bit and make them more different, because, of course, you had Street Fighter 4, you had all the different, like, Shoto characters and such, so they're really branching out to see what they can do different, and I'm liking it. I want to see the other characters come back and see what we got. I want to see, it got me excited for maybe Sean, see what he can do, or Sakura, different shit they can do. On Steam, however, in the meanwhile, we're getting a couple of PlayStation 1 classics, apparently. A new publisher named Console Classics already begun releasing hidden gems on the original PlayStation library. I'll check out the website, but so far we have a Battle Arena Toshinden 2 and the previously Japan-only Tatsunoko fight. So yeah, it was like Tatsunoko before Tatsunoko versus Capcom. You can probably find that on YouTube somewhere. So yeah, pretty interesting. I can't wait to see more. Let me check out their consoleclassics.co and see what they're coming up with. Yeah, all sorts of stuff you can look at, probably. Cold Deck, I remember reading on that. Let's see. Reloaded, yeah. N2O on Steam. Lucky Loot Games. Yeah, N2O Nitrous Oxide. So yeah, consoleclassics.co. I guess it was incomplete.com, but that's what I came up with. But yeah, good stuff. Definitely go check that out if you guys got a Steam. I don't have a Steam. I got too much games as it is. I'm running 3 different PlayStations. I'm eventually going to get the PlayStation 4 once that drops. I know there are games that came out for that. There's that It's based off an Xbox fighter, a Phantom Breaker. I forget what it's called, but it's like all 2D sprites. It looks like I can't remember it off the top of my head because I wasn't paying too close attention because I was looking at it and I'm like, but it's coming out for PS4, so I'm gonna have to wait on it. So, but yeah, it's coming out. That's I think it's like worldwide in like late July or something like that. It's a Phantom Breaker. I know it's Phantom Breaker. I don't know what the rest of it is because it's just Phantom Breaker. It's just a fighting game on the Xbox. It's like the Xbox or the 360 Xbox. But I guess that one got a PS4 release or something like that. I don't know. Look kind of cool. Again, the very reminiscent of Scott Pilgrim. You know, way back, a couple of years ago. So, if you're a fan of that, I'd say definitely check that out. And finally, we got classic fatalities from Mortal Kombat 10. Also, Predator came out, which is really cool. Even though the one fatality is a little weird, like you get that Predator vision and you get like all like it's like heat vision or something like that, but as you're coming out of it and you're getting shot at by the Predator, your character still stays in the heat vision. Is that like a glitch or something, or is it supposed to be like that? I don't know. I don't own MK10. I'm not that big a. It's just cool to see that though. But yeah, we got Mortal Kombat 1, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya, and Johnny Cage. They do their older fatalities, like Scorpion does the take off his face and shoot fire at you. Sub-Zero rips off your head and holds up your head and your spine. Sonya with the flaming kiss of death. Johnny Cage uppercuts your head off. And yeah, it's considered in their complete original win poses as well. Yeah, nice nod, but you gotta admit, compared to what we've seen already in MK10, it's kind of lackluster. I know, well, I guess that's what it is. It's just like a classic fatality. It's just like the whatchamacallit, but it's just over too quick now. Like MK10's fatality spoiled us because you get to see the fucking damage done. You know, it lingers on that. The camera like stays there. You can't even look at like a victory screen. You're just looking at the body, just like, oh, what happened here? Yeah, it's like a car wreck. After seeing that, I'm just like, Hopefully they do more. Hopefully they do. They'll have like MK2 skins, MK3, hopefully some of their more popular fatalities. I hope to God that they do one for. Oh shit! The Cyber Ninjas aren't in that shit. Yeah, there's no Takunin in that. Damn it! I was really hoping for because one of the dumbest yet coolest, just the bombs all over the place, and then you cut to the earth, and I think it was like Cyber Smoke's fatality, and then I think Cyrax got it for MK Gold. It just spews out like a whole shit ton of bombs, and just like litter the ground with it, and it cuts to like a spinning planet Earth, and you see the entire planet explode. I don't know how they would have done that, and it would have been cool to see in like a later gen or something like that. I forget if they did that for a 9. I don't recall. So if they did, and I'm just not remembering, I apologize. But yeah, even the eats are picking up for this. IBC root beer. I got this for my birthday, and wait, wasn't IBC the name of that station in the 90s version of that Ebenezer Scrooge movie, Scrooge, with Bill Murray? Great movie, by the way. Highly recommend it. Okay, you know, sometimes you'd get them in like a dollar store movie. You might have seen them way back when, the root beer candies that were in the shape of a barrel. That's what this is in liquid form. So, as a big fan of root beer, I say you'll love it. Oh, okay. It wasn't in the original slogan, so I couldn't. Alright, I wanted to get that out of the way so I can do this one live real quick. And then I'll talk about the other stuff, because I just have them sitting here and I don't want to wait any longer. Crybaby Sour Mini Drinks, and that's the reason I'm doing this live as opposed to everything else. A little less than $1 for 5 tiny little bottles, which I would have otherwise ignored, but since they're sour, which I've never seen as a kid before, them tiny little wax bottles, you get like a little bit and that's it. So figured I'd try them real quick live and just get a reaction for shits and giggles. So they don't even say what flavors they are. It's just blue, red, orange, yellow, green. So I'm gonna Hopefully. Oh my god, it's liquid warheads. Oh, I have a fucked up idea here. Alright, I just tasted a little bit of the blue. Yeah, it's like blue raspberry with a little bit of... Come on. These wax bottles don't pour out too well. There we go. That was the blue raspberry. Wow, that was pretty sour. I'm thinking this is sour cherry. I gotta be careful not to... I like to have excess wax on the sides so you're not opening up from the sides, just making a mess. Sour cherry, I like that. That's what I thought that would be. In the cup you go. Yeah. I got a cup right here. I'm gonna 5-headed dragon these motherfuckers and just put it all one small cup. It's barely filled the middle here. See what I end up with. Alright, I got the orange now. It's going like a grapefruit maybe or something. Ugh. Got more wax with that one than I wanted to. I guess it's just like the original flavors, what you'd normally find, but I guess they're sour. Yeah, I didn't get much with this one. Just got the sourness. You can't do sour orange. It's like an orange or a citrus or something like that. Now I looked on the directions, it just says, doesn't even say what flavors are. Alright, I got a green and a yellow now. Alright, let me get the green in here. Ooh. Yeah. Lime, baby. That's my best one so far. As a kid, I always liked the green shit. The lime. Probably why I liked Ecto Cooler so much. Aren't they getting an all-female movie, the Ghostbusters, by the way? Fingers crossed we get that shit back on High C. Because I guarantee you, I'm going to be a lot of people first in line for that shit to beat me to the punch on that one. The yellow's good too. The lemon, clearly. Uh-oh. Oop. I don't think I got all this one. Which one didn't open right? Ugh. Made a bit of a mess here. It's okay. Come on, get out, damn it. I'm trying to squeeze a vein or something like that. Like, blood, give me your blood. He's so tasty. I think that used to be a thing too. Like, get them. I'm surprised it never came on. I don't know. Bite into a wax neck and drink like the cherry blood or something. Just something really diabolical, like a Halloween candy. It's just like a wax neck. But just bite down on this tiny wax artery. I don't know. Oh my god, that's so dumb. Oh, you could imagine that shit though. At least in my fucked up own little headcanon, I would. All right, I combined 5 of these into a cup, and it barely like I can still see the bottom of the cup, but 5 sours in one shot. Here we go. Oh. Oh. And not only was it sour, it kind of burned on the way down, too. I guess I wasn't supposed to do that, I guess. Wow. Oh. They're wax bottles with like a little tiny bit of what's it called in there, so for me to say I recommend them, even if they weren't sour, if they were just regular, I'd be like, what the fuck? Again, this was just for shits and giggles, mostly. Yeah, fucked up my nose a little bit, like the heat Well, not really heat. It's just a lot of, like, the sourness. And it kind of burned on the way down. A little bit. Just because I... Like a shot glass, I was just like... Well, I don't have a shot glass, but... Probably what I should have gone with. Just about the size of one. Could have filled that, maybe. I don't even think I would have made it halfway through a shot glass with just a little bit there. Just tiny little wax bottles. Alright, I had to drink something else real quick before I finished up my snacking segment. Couple more things here. Just in time for the summer, Tasty Cake gives us more of them, like the peanut butter cake kind of things. I forget what they're actually called just outside of that. But, summer key lime and summer orange cream. The key lime was really strong. I could barely taste any cake with it, but, you know, like really strong. But, you know, hey, it's me. Again, I told you I like the green stuff. I like the lime. So, I would always get them, get them little, as a kid, you get like them ice packs or whatever. It's like, flavor ice, I think that's what they were called. They're like in whatchamacallits. I would always get either the green or the blue. Sometimes red, sometimes, not always often purple. Purple is like kind of, almost was like a carbonation. Purple by itself is just, But yeah. But anyway, strong lime flavor and then consisting of these little guys, as you can see right now. Hopefully I can find a pic. I can't say I don't hate it. Orange cream, on the other hand, is just strong enough to complement the white cake. Yeah, the key lime is like a different color kind of cake, but again, it's just like the lime overpowers. But the orange cream, as it is known for doing, just being strong enough to complement the white cake and the vanilla frosted coating on the outside. So, personally, I like the key lime, but if I would have to recommend one for you guys, I would say go for the orange cream. But if you're like me and you like the strong lime stuff, you know, can't go wrong. The key lime. But enough eats for one segment. Let's move on to the main event. Well, not really. Because, well, here comes our Raw opener. Paul Heyman spelling it out for Seth Rollins says, "You're going to learn the hard way that Brock Lesnar is the Lord. God, hallowed be thy name. And he's not a God of love, charity, forgiveness. My client is the God of violent retribution, and that comes at Seth Rollins' expense, and any and all who stand by him. Brock's the sword by Seth Rollins' shield." Yeah, see what he did there. When Brock took the streak away, crowd boos him for this one. He's like, don't boo the advocate, okay? He didn't respect the streak, but there wasn't any disrespect for the man who held it. He just saw a challenge and rose to conquer it. He saw a streak and ended it. All right, now you're going to cheer for this one, because when my client took Cena to Suplex City, he gets cheered for that, he didn't respect him. But he didn't show any disrespect for him either. He did the same for Roman Reigns. He was a challenger, and he took him down. Seth, you have no respect from Brock whatsoever. You have earned the wrath of the God of violent retribution, and he will lay you down in front of the City Hall of Suplex City. My job's to sell you that at Battleground. My client gets his hand on Seth Rollins and takes that championship back, but I assure you, the title match may take place in St. Louis, but the beatings and suplexes begin tonight. Meanwhile, kid over in Hawaii, by which I mean there's just still shots of him, graphic, photoshoppage. Some graphics of the trip of that new car J&J got, but they actually cut them doing that, so road trip. Big Show one-on-one with Ryback as The Miz sits ringside near the commentary table and does a directorial debut, so to speak. So basically he's on the mic shouting at both of them during the match. I made a root beer float, so I don't know if Miz ever screamed, "Don't do it, Ryback! Oh, feed me more!" But if he didn't, this match was pointless. Miz, for some reason, jumps on both Giants after they miss their attempts at top rope maneuvers, but ends up getting pounded for his trouble. Then Ryback spears the Big Show and holds his title up high. So this, again, Battleground may not suck, but the Raw and SmackDown towards it might be a different story. I don't know. Wow, the Bellas. You really want me to continue making root beer floats, don't you, all? And even I'm like some of you, I'm starting to suspect that Nikki's going to be AJ's reign as Divas Champion out of spite. Because they keep mentioning it every time she's on TV, like this how many days it's been. It's, almost mirroring CM Punk when the announcers kept putting that over. Paige gets frustrated during her match with them and starts tossing one billet into another, but Brie does eventually manage to hit Brie mode or whatever the hell her finisher is and wins. Yeah. Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. Reigns is like, fuck your briefcase. Good psychology was wanting for Reigns to get mad, get angry in there, and start beating Sheamus like a rented mule. That's what he did. Reigns chasing after Sheamus, attacking him on the outside and throwing him into that barricade, but Sheamus does take over as Reigns tries to get back in. Reigns goes for that Superman punch, but Sheamus sees it come and turns it into his Irish curse for 2. He does actually get the punch when Sheamus goes off the top rope, and of course Bray Wyatt walks out with his lantern, but Roman is ready for him. Superman punch! Wait a minute. That's not Bray Wyatt at all, so... Okay. Sheamus wins, and Randy's back to RKO Sheamus and most likely have a match at Battleground. Doesn't quite answer my question, though. Who the fuck did he hit? And he shows up again on SmackDown to fuck with him during the main event. So he's got like an understudy, I guess. I don't know. He's got like a body double. Bray Wyatt jumping around on city rooftops with the power of Ninja Gaiden 2. He's got like shadow clones. I'm gonna be Hokage. Believe it. Triple H and Rollins planning on what they need to do with Brock Lesnar. Triple H is like, the plan's you winning at Battleground at any cost. Rollins is like, yeah, I got that, but what about tonight? And Triple H is like, let him stew. No, that wouldn't work. What you need to do is something you wouldn't expect. And Heyman unintentionally gave you just the idea to do that. He called it I forgot to mention, but he called it like, you've broken the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not intentionally provoke Brock Lesnar. That's what Heyman called the 11th commandment. And he is like, and Rollins was like, yeah, intentionally piss him off. He's already fuming. I'm just going to call him out tonight and do to him what we did 2 weeks ago. He's going to play right into our hands. Rusev and non-Lana Summer Rae in the ring. He says he's inspired by Lana's apology on SmackDown and came to apologize himself. But, quite honestly, I won't apologize for wasting a year of my life on Lana. Nor for you taking Lana in like nothing ever happened. I sure as hell won't apologize for Dolph Ziggler getting in her head. Dolph Ziggler comes out with Lana. Yes, he's continuing. He's like, I know your ankle's broken, but is your brain broken too? Every opportunity you've gotten in the WWE is all because of Lana. Whine and moan all you want. Deep down, you lost the best thing that ever happened to you. You remember that song you butchered a while ago, Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone? Well, it's gone. And I found her. So, it looks like we're about to have another cat fight, but instead, Rusev takes the other crutch he had and breaks it over Ziggler, and it's a big boot on him with that huge cast on. So yeah, first the Wyatt thing, and then this. 2 swerves in a row. Russo Machka. So much for that at Battleground, I guess. Ziggler's obviously going to sell that and maybe take some time off. I'd hate to see him come out here in crutches and just make this stupider. Which it didn't seem to be a thing on SmackDown. Well, I'll get to that. Ziggler's being stretchered out like you hit him with you kicked him with that still cast on. I'm looking at. I still have mine from when I broke my leg. That sucker's heavy. And he breaks the crutch. He takes the top part of the crutch and just jabs it into his neck. So he's just so he's out for a while. I guess to garner some injury. Hopefully it's just that and not he's on his way. That was because if that was like his last moment in WWE, well, I'm gonna be like, wow, that was shit. And WWE must do this personally because I remember something really bad happening to another wrestler some weeks ago on Raw back, and out comes Bo Dallas. So he's like, I think it was like Daniel Bryan, so he's out there. So they must time Bo Dallas for these things, like just being like, oh man. He's like, that was a horrible thing we just saw with Ziggler. It goes to show that bad things happen to bad people. And good things happen to good people. Good people like me. Not if you're in a match with Dean Ambrose, you're not. Dueling Chants from Chicago, where we are at Raw. They have come alive for this battle. Well, it's about time. Yeah, you're halfway done with the entire show. Ambrose wins, of course. King What the Fuck versus King Used to Matter. To quote Wade Barrett's post-core theme, I just don't care anymore. Barrett, I'm sure you've seen Highlander at some point. I'm hoping a bullhammer decapitation style will pretty much put an end to this King What's Up bullshit. That's exactly what he called him. What R-Truth calls himself. Sort of got my wish. Barrett winning, so hopefully this is the end. And Cole's like, you think this is the end of King What's Up? Cross your heart and hope to take a return trip to Suplex City? Speaking of which, Rollins walking with an axe handle, like and a purpose alongside with his security. So we know what's next. Their name is J&J Security. But you already knew that. Yeah, they come out with the car Del Rio style and they got more axe handles in the trunk. If Brock were after me, I'd keep the axe portion on. Shit. Seth goes over how he conquered the Conqueror. Lesnar's yesterday's news and can't hang with a thinking man's champion. I'm the man that destroyed the Shield, reunited the Authority, cashed in and beat Lesnar to become World Heavyweight Champion. And no one else on earth can beat Lesnar. Earlier tonight, Heyman mentioned that 11th commandment. Well, Brock, here I am. I'm wondering if you're the beast everyone says you are, or if you're just Paul Heyman's bitch. Brock Heyman comes out, and Heyman actually has a full axe for Lesnar. Like Heyman's like, I'll see your axe handles and raise you the whole goddamn thing. I'm like, holy shit. The part of the mayor of Metro City from Final Fight, Mike Hager, will be played by the mayor of Suplex City this evening. He buries one axe to the side of the car on the outside that J&J came into, as he buries the other into the glass and trunk and rips an entire door off its hinges and just flings it into near non-existence. It's seen on Twitter. It inadvertently hit some kid. So, a lot of holy shit. Like it was like a Olympic shot put. That son of a bitch just. Wow. The security running after Brock at Rollins' command, once again being lamb sent to the slaughter. Poor Jamie gets Kimura locked and he suplexes Mercury onto what's left on that car. Then he comes for Rollins, who runs faster than when he was cashing in at Mania. Mucha Lucha Dragons. Primetime players on commentary as the Dragons take on the New Day's Biggie and Kofi. They're all come out and they see the damage, and Kofi, weirdly enough, is the one to try and rally the other members back. I guess he's just happy they all made it back from their confrontation with Lesnar in Japan, and they live to tell about it. They all should be, man. Not just Kofi. Lucha Dragons looking pretty strong. Primetime players being hyped, but also talking about the match. I was impressed by both of them. I want them on SmackDown more. Oh, I kinda like, I forget which Uso it is. I think it's Jimmy. But he is okay. I don't mind that one. I'm like trying to keep up with SmackDown anyway. Big E catches a leaping Kalisto suplex. tandem tag offense on a singled out Cara as the New Day wins. Titus is killing it on commentary, by the way. You know, is it too late to have him and Darren Young do a show? Seriously, I just want my Chet Lemon and Black Snow moment to happen on WWE once. We sort of, at the very beginning, got that one Raw post walkout when it was just CM Punk on commentary. My favorite TNA episode by far, the main event Mafia just hijacking the announce booth and everything else. We got Kevin Nash and Booker T calling the action as Scott Steiner is the ring announcer. Best decision they ever made. Sadly, it wasn't the full show because I think there was like, by the last hour, the frontliner or whoever they were feuding with came out and pretty much ran them off. And then we got like Mike Tenay and Don West back again. I'm like, no! Stone Cold! He's on the cover of WWE 2K16 or 2K316. That's their joke, not mine. But what the hell? You're in this one, WWE. Brapadu! The U.S. title open challenge is our main event. And Cena's being a dick, alluding to how Owens lost the NXT title in Japan. Wow. What an asshole. Speaking of the devil, Cena, who shall appear? Owens comes out, he's like, every week, the worst part of Raw is where you run your mouth and speak the same old garbage. I no longer just want the U.S. title, I need it. So I don't have to hear you ramble on anymore, and I was fine with waiting until Battleground, but I'm coming to take it tonight. Then Cesaro comes out, he's like, no one wants to hear you whine about how you lost the NXT Championship. Now step aside, because I had Mr. Never Give Up almost do so till you interfered last week, so either I'm fighting him for that title, or I'm fighting you. So Owens backs down, and we get Antonio Cesaro in the main event of Raw. Holy shit. A repeat I'm actually okay with, especially considering the circumstance of how last week's match ended, like I mentioned, like Cesaro went over beforehand. Cena already 5-knuckle shuffling coming out of the commercial break. This match is more back and forth than the near mugging Cena was taking at the hands of Cesaro, so it looks so kind of more clear how Cena can back him up and Cena can win this. This match took a while. It went through like 2 commercial breaks. You know, for the 3rd time, Cena was going for that shuffle just outside. Oh, we're back. I'm going to go for the shuffle. Nope, it countered. I'm going to go. All right, we're back from worship. I'm going to go for the shuffle. No, it got countered. All right, 3rd time's the charm. Boom. He swings with a clothesline and misses, but I'm pretty sure Cesaro can see you. Maybe don't do the friggin' move that's another term for jerking the gherkin, okay? I still don't know how you get away with that, but you can't call it the FU. You gotta call it the attitude adjustment, you know? But 5-knuckle shuffle, that's okay. That just slides right by. It's just squeak it on in. Just squeak in there, just a little bit. Yeah. I think he even counters one into a crossface till Cena powers out of that. He even counters Cesaro's giant swing and turns it into a DDT. Cena with a very loud and audible, watch out guys, as he's sent to the outside. Like, as audible as he usually is. Holy shit. Botchamania. Have fun with that. Both men get sent to the outside and over that barricade during this matchup at separate occasions. Overrunning for all the right reasons during this matchup, says at Ty20. And that stunner continues to be shit, and it lets Cesaro hit the neutralizer, so I guess it was Cena missing it as Cole tried to cover for him. It just looked like it was like he didn't get... It did kind of look like he didn't get all of it, or it could have been just like him going for something, and it just ended up looking really shitty, so they tried to make it sound like he didn't get all of it, yeah. This was like, what, 12, 15 minutes past the hour by the time this was done, and both these guys were still kicking at it too. Cesaro going for another neutralizer from the top of the rope just because Cesaro knows it will probably kill Cena and keep him down for 3. But Cena counters to an AA and wins. And an AA for Kevin Owens when he tries the ambush and run in. And now for SmackDown, which opens with Seth Rollins all by his lonesome due to a run by Brocking. I gave Lesnar the opportunity to step up and go face to face with me, but he's a coward who took it out on a car that I gave to my friends, my family. He messed up my family. And as he's going on about that, tow truck of some sort brings what's left of the Cadillac CTS. You actually see a little later it went to like it got pushed down a little bit. It went to like a press or something like that. Paul Heyman comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, and to you, Seth Rollins, my name is Paul Heyman, and I'm here to confess my sins. Admittedly, I'm the advocate for the beast that did what he did to that car. I can spew you a bunch of metaphors like Rollins is all alone in that ring, and will also be so at Battleground. Or how about the damage to that car will pale in comparison to the damage done to Seth Rollins? Truth is, the metaphor that does apply is that Rollins gets dragged not to hell, but a much worse place for Rollins, Suplex City. Rollins says it's like, that car's a metaphor for what your client's going to end up like. And after Battleground, you're the one that'll be alone because you'll no longer have a client to advocate for. Bo Dallas on the mic before getting beaten by Dean Ambrose again. Oh, Dean, months after falling short of winning the WWE Championship, you're in need of inspiration. And a shower. But fear not, help's on the way. I inspired The Rock to greatness last week at a live event. Look at him now, starring on a hit TV show on HBO. If I can turn bland, unattractive nothings into superstars, imagine what I can do for you. Sometimes the delusional ones are the funniest. Rollins backstage with the Big Show, ? Big Show saying, times are tough without your security. Rollins is like, no, I can take that Neanderthal down alone, but you want to help burn Suplex City to the ground. And Show's like, nah, that's all you, man. I'm just making sure you're prepared for Ryback tonight. You can take out all that anger and frustration you're feeling right now on Ryback, but in the meantime, I'll do you a solid and beat on Roman Reigns tonight. Rusev's back, and he's got Nike shoes on.
Just do it!
See the impossible, do the unthinkable. Row, Shia LaBeouf. Summer Rae must be pleased that Rusev gets to beat up her former Flame Fandango. As Bray Wyatt attacks and interferes in Roman's match for the upteenth time and get the win over by DQ over the Big Show. Titus O'Neil goes over Big E when the rest of his New Day counterparts get ejected from the ring. Randy Orton on the mic for in a bit. I've been here for 13 years and made a lot of enemies, but none have gotten under my skin more than Sheamus. He acts like a modern gladiator, yelling, "Are you entertained?" No, I'm not, but I'll do the impossible and make you entertained. Okay, if this was Legend Killer Randy Orton talking, I believe you could make him entertaining, but wow. Anyway, the Ascension come out for their match time and demand Orton leave the ring, so of course they get RKO'd for their trouble. Brie and Alicia go over Naomi and Tamina. More tag discontent. And miscues. Cloned Josh Matthews interview with Ryback. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, Rollins and myself had a face-to-face on what it means to be a champion. Rollins is accomplished in ring. The way he conducts himself as WWE champion resembles a gutless child, on the other hand. A champion fights and doesn't run and hide. On Monday in front of Lesnar, when the going got tough, Rollins got going as fast as he could. But there's no running or hiding tonight. I told Rollins what it means to be champion. Tonight I'm going to prove it to him. Rollins sure doing a lot of running and hiding during this match. So, right over the barricade to avoid the shell shock, so Ryback wins via countout. Big Show comes out from the entrance ramp where Seth's about to leave, so both go down to take out Ryback. But Roman Reigns runs in and evens the odds. So yeah, we got him acting like a coward again. Well, that's the segment. Since the multi-tap is coming back, or the Triple Axis podcast is coming back, me and KZ were in the middle of a rap battle we never get to finish. So, I'm just throwing this out there, and we'll probably win by default, and that's how I'll end my podcast. But again, this isn't like me being sour grapes. I had this written weeks ago for just the battle rap with him, so it's not like, KZX didn't want me on this podcast. Like, fuck KZX. No, it's not at all. I couldn't be happier that it's coming back with just the three of them. Like I said, I think it's going to do really, really well. All three of them get together on like a Sunday. Because I think that's what they were. It seems like what we were doing all the time. We were doing all the Sundays, and now it's going to be like, we're going to see who does better, me by myself or two Nuzlocke runs that are probably like the most entertaining parts of probably their most entertaining LPs for PM. I think it's his only LP. But anyway, here's my battle rap against KZ. The final round is here, pitting me against goddammit Joel. Even if you donated money to him to out-rap me, he'd never reach that goal. Those LPs of your RPGs, even I question those are relevant. I'ma flush you down the toilet like a piece of KZ excrement. You can't be level 100 rap status, your whole game is completely see-through. Freestyle-wise, I'll drop you quicker than you dropped Persona Q. You play Kingdom Hearts 2 so many times, even to you the plot no longer makes sense. To battle rap with me, you're gonna need more than 1,000 Heartless. So give me my rap championship belt, either that or a trophy. Cause searching for a Noah's the only reason to subscribe to the Multi-TAP. And I'm out this bitch.